Hello, guys. I basically came home from an 8-hour car trip, and yeah, you might see some new things on the floor and on the table. So yeah, I guess I got a late Christmas gift. I mean, I don't care too much about Christmas gifts, but holy hell, I can't. My level of English is not sufficient enough to express my true feelings in here in word form. I am overwhelmed. I am mentally overwhelmed. I cannot speak about this using normal terms again. I keep, rambling. So I think that the greatest pieces right now are sitting right next to here. So we have a 4.8 kilovolt 0.7 amp transformer. What will this be used in? Vacuum tube Tesla coils. And other high voltage stuff, but we only care about vacuum tube Tesla coils here. And talking about Tesla coils, and specifically vacuum tube Tesla coils, a vacuum tube can't be missing, right? So look at this one, Brown Boveri ITK 2-1. It is a 5 kilowatt output triode with 1.5 kilowatts of anode dissipation. And yeah, it's water cooled, so I need to find a system to properly cool it because I definitely don't want this go to waste. And look at the filament bypass on it. It's a bit removed on the tube. Strange, kind of, but okay. Also some interesting way of mounting these caps. Wonder what this was used in. But yeah, also lens for the CRT there. Oops, fuck, fell down. And I think visually the greatest thing in the collection is this. This is a Soviet tank radio. Where did my friend get it? I don't even want to ask, but look at this. I mean, I can't read Russian. I want to study the language to read, Soviet data sheets, but look at this thing. It breaks my virgin Western grown-up hands, Yeah, and this has a gear system. Look at this. And it's also using GU50 tubes. This one is a Polish one. Why is there a Polish one? I don't know, but this tube is 1995, this tube is 1979, so interesting. That is really interesting. And it also has some tubes in that. I can see tube socket there, and there's another tube there. And my friend said that he did power it on, and he told me, don't you dare even think about like converting this or like using it seriously. I can't really help myself. I don't just want to scrap it, but he told me that has a lot of good parts, and I might be desperate enough, but this will definitely be a shelf queen for a while. Definitely gonna be using this to brag to my friends, definitely. The fun thing would be to convert this into like a sleeper case. In the sleeper cases, when you have like an old PC case and you put a very new PC in there. You know what I mean. So like imagine like having a PC in here, playing War Thunder on it, and casually like mentioning your gaming hardware. Yeah, it's an old Soviet tank radio. you can pretend like you're really immersed into the game. Specifically, if you make these controls to something like, I don't know, volume, power switch. Don't know much else which you could be tuning, like fan controls maybe. But damn. I have some ideas what to do with this. I would definitely like to maybe convert this or ham transmitter or so, but been a bit discouraged. But I don't feel like scrapping it just yet. Those are the trash bin tube sockets. I know these are hella expensive, and it was, of course, only worth it for like tubes and other stuff. But it's so cool. I didn't even open it up fully. It hides still a lot of surprise. So And you can see how excited I am just with the things I'm seeing now. I don't have the power supply for this, but I guess it's not too hard to get going. As I said, I can't read Russian, so I don't have the instructions. But my friend can read it, so I can at least read antenna on there. Yeah, Cyrillic is just Greek with Slavic expansion pack, so I can read some of it if the translations are very close. I mean, antenna, basically one-to-one conversion. The other stuff is, of course, another high voltage transformer, 800 volts, 700 volts, and 800 volts. Isolated sections. I'm not sure what to do with this exactly, but this will be used for something tube related. I can guarantee that. Maybe hook those 800 volt sections into a full wave rectifier setup and use a tube. Or maybe use this for like a scope or something. Scope power supply? Maybe. Of course, metal shielding for the tube, metal shielding for the other scope CRT that is sitting there. And look at this. We have an isolation transformer with 140 volt, 160 volt, 180 volt, and 200 volt sections. So I guess you can choose which way you like, what voltage you have on the output. Spartrafo. Interesting. So yeah, 3.8 kilovolt amps. Yeah, that's a nice isolation transformer. Only nice. It's not superb, It would be superb if it could handle my entire house, of course. We also have the filament transformer for the tube there. So 6.3 volts at 35 amps. Coincidentally, what the tube is pulling. Maybe they were once in the same case. Talking about the case, this was the resonance coil, and these were probably the resonance capacitors, because 20 kV doesn't make sense for the power supply alone. Look at this thing. Probably water piped through there, and he said there was like a feedback coil in there or something. And I also have the resistors of that induction heater. Yeah, 200 watt resistor basically, 2.2k. Cool as fuck. And we have a 100k. Not sure what it was again. Was it 100 watt? Yeah, 100 watt. So yeah, interesting thing. So this is 200 watt and this is 100 watt. How exactly? Is it arc over 2 maybe? I don't know. But talking about high voltage and higher currents, I also got these from him. 6 kV, 1.5 amp each diode. So this will be put all 2 strings of those basically put in series. So basically how they already are, but I need to switch this terminal with the other terminal to make them in series. And this will be a perfect double diode for this, with a lot of headroom. I need to figure out what to use as a double capacitor, because I basically need to put 3 of them in series, and I guess I have enough of them, but the capacitance will be tiny, so I might need to improvise, get something else, or possibly even make my own capacitor. Or technically, do I even need a double capacitor? No, I don't. I mean, at this point I can just power it straight off the transformer with no double capacitor. Maybe. So way less output impedance. So wait, theoretically I don't even need the rectifier diode then. I mean, do I want to power the tube with 10 kV? Do I want to power the tube with over 10 kV? I need to think about that. Or just have this on a variac the entire time. Oh. I mean, the stupidest thing would be to run this only lower voltage and not at the true high voltage is rated at, but yeah. And you might also have more of these decoupling capacitors. So these are 2 nanofarad 20 kV. These are also 2 nanofarad 20 kV, but you can see the difference between those capacitors. These are obviously rated for resonance, so they have high power through them, and they are not multi-layer, because multi-layer adds more dissipation in these capacitors and stuff. So these might be compacted, but these heat up during operation if there's a lot of RF current oscillating through them. These ones, through the large surface area, will stay cooler. Hopefully not heat up at all. I think these are silver plated, if I remember correctly. These should be like some sort of ceramic. If I know. I'm not sure exactly. Some ceramic, I think. And we also have tubes in here. Of course, one of them is like we were just talking about diodes. So look at this diode. Look at this diode tube. I mean, it looks like a mortar shell. Definitely, some sort of Soviet secret weapon here. So it was made by the Ryazan tube plant that also made most GU81s. Not sure. Can you see the logo there? Yeah, I think you can see the R. Yeah. I guess here you can see it better. Yeah. So same by the Ryazan 2 plant. And from what I know, these radios were also manufactured there. So yeah, this is a pulse diode. It can handle a lot of amps. And I might even use this in continuous wave operation, but like monitor the temperature of the anode seal. Because if I keep under the temperature, basically the diode should be fine, whatever current it is conducting. So the stupid idea would, of course, be to use this diode as as you know, not as a power rectifier, but no, just have it as a signal rectifier, like in a detector stage on a radio. I mean, that is so overkill. But look at this. It's, I just want to like throw this at someone. I love it. It's so cool. It takes several amps to light the filament, and I can't do that. I have the toroidal transformer that can handle that. I should get myself a bigger toroidal. I have like a toroidal power supply. So yeah, put that back in. It's not the original box from what I know, but also this is the back of the Soviet tank radio. I took it off. Over here we have a RCA 3E29, also known as the Soviet GU39, if I remember correctly. So yeah, my friend who gifted me all this stuff, wants me to build him a Tesla coil, and I am definitely gonna build him a Tesla coil. I'm definitely saying yes to that, and that's the tube that he picked for me to build him a Tesla coil with. So yeah, it doesn't seem used. The getter seems okay, no cracks, everything. And this is the original, basically RCA tube, and it was licensed under some brand here, Electronic Enterprises. But yeah, this one is definitely RCA. You can tell from the mark. Yeah, also have the socket for it. You can see it there, hopefully. Putting this back in because I don't want to damage it, because it's technically only mine for a certain amount of time. So yeah, hold on, I'm putting it back. So yeah, back. Yeah, there's also the pump there, the water pump that was pumping through the setup, and I also have these cathode ray tubes. This has a phosphor decay time of 30 seconds, and I had a lot of fun with this in the car, putting my phone with an image on it, putting it up to the screen like that, then taking it off, then taking a picture of it, and of course you draw some inappropriate things on the tube face because you're bored in the car. But yeah, look at this. It's also the type number of the CRT. So yeah, I'm not sure what to do with this yet, but this will definitely be used for something like I don't know, use as like a drawing program because there's so long phosphor persistence. But it's so cool. I mean, look at the system inside. I mean, it would be such a shame that the vacuum would be gone, but the getter is still fine, or the cathode would disconnect or something stupid like that. Look at the amount of pins. It's insane. Also, we have this smaller CRT here. Looks really interesting. Yeah, I guess you can see my face there. Look at this. He also had a photo multiplier tube, and the insides. I mean, I was dreaming. I can't even describe how the inside looked like. It was so shiny and had so much copper in it. 5 cents worth of copper. No. Talking about copper. Anode choke. That was used for the induction heater. He got it out of. The induction heater actually also used an incandescent bulb as part of its feedback network, and that burned out. And he only discovered that while disassembling the oven, so maybe the tube is actually fine in the oven, and the only thing that failed was actually the incandescent bulb. So gives me hope that I can do definitely something with the tube. If that tube is broken, I can still use a transformer for other things, but I would like to, keep these together kind of. And I've also, I kind of have to build a Tesla coil with it, This is the new metal shield for the other CRT. This was apparently some sort of, or something to do with radio. I keep forgetting what it was, vobulator or something? But it definitely required long persistence phosphor. Yeah, so that's what's left of it. He already got it pre-scrapped, so doesn't feel too bad about disassembling the rest. Talking about pre-scrapped, he also had this. You might think, what is this? Radio communications test set. So yeah, this was it was testing your transmitters, what I understand. And I basically only have the case and some left of the controls there. Because from what I know, the inner stuff was already too far gone to even try to restore it. So it has some parts left over, which I'm gonna scrap, I guess reuse, recycle. Precision stuff, I guess, and some other stuff, switches. Your bright colors can't be missing in there. I also have horizontal and vertical deflection boards for the cathode ray tube. I'm not sure which one it is. I think it's for the small one. Because this is West German component, so it has to be this one. The Soviet one, it's out of place, Yeah, look at this. Very nice. 0 amp. Don't know what that means. Also 0 amp. Oh, are these the same board? No. Huh. Well, these boards are very similar. Anyway, yeah. I will definitely use this component. I don't. My English language is not sufficient enough to describe the joy I'm feeling just from this image. I don't even like if you ripped like half of these components away from me, I wouldn't even be sorry. I would. You wouldn't even have to be sorry for it. I would definitely understand it. I'm not sure what I've done to deserve this. Dude, I thank you way too much if you're watching this. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely be using this, and these capacitors are definitely in the resistor. Very cool. The tube as well. The transformer. The fucking Soviet badass transmitter. Oh, I always showed it to my friends, and they all love it. It's so cool. And back when I was watching a video from the channel Diode Gone Wild, he did a video on vacuum tubes. Quite an old video now, and it basically showed this module here, and it was saying, oh, like what is this? This is part of a badass Soviet transmitter. It was also showing like part of the gear system, and I basically now have the same thing. It's so cool, and it's tube based. Oh, I almost don't want to take it apart because it's so cool. But yeah, he was really vocal about me. No, just take this. Don't think about it. Yeah, this is awesome. This transformer will definitely kill me. If I ever die, it's probably because of this transformer. Talking about it, I might test it today by hooking up to mains and sparking the output with an arc stick. Zit, zit. But I think it might pop my breaker. I have to see about that. But yeah. Maybe that resonance coil will be used for HF VTTC action thing, so carbon rod could definitely fit inside there. This, I might repurpose this for a case for the high voltage transformer because it basically fits inside almost maybe I will just mount it on a piece of wood sitting there. Maybe wood, and I'm putting it under the table with the other high voltage stuff. What do I do with the power switch then? Is that a long lead with the power switch going up? Maybe. I have to see about that. Thank you. Thank you, and thank the people for watching. If you have any cool ideas, if you have any cool ideas what I can do with the other stuff, and with some other stuff just laying here, definitely give me an idea. What kind of thing should I build? What should I take a look at? Definitely gonna try improving my vacuum tube Tesla coil first. Already tried a different capacitor in it with high capacitance, and it does seem to perform a bit better. I might use those 20 kilovolts AC capacitors because they're 2 nanofarads and for the coil coupling. So yeah, that should provide minimal impedance, so maximum power theoretically into this tank coil. And yeah, I'd use those 30 kV capacitors for decoupling on a diode. Already have a 2 kV. This is actually 30 kV rated, 2 nanofarads. So interesting capacity here. Yeah, this also got home in resonance position. Yeah, for the, as I said, for these capacitors, these are for resonance. These are for decoupling generally, or coupling. So these don't have too much RF power flowing to them. These have multiple amps through them all the time. Oh, this is beautiful. I've been in this room for over an hour now, basically, just staring at the stuff and trying to make the video for it. Well, I thank you for listening to me. Oh, also, I also tried to get these tubes out. I got the knob of one of my other GU50 tubes in there, and these knobs are actually compatible to the Nazi German original tubes. Oops. And these tubes were so like the sockets are very virgin basically, so didn't see a lot of insertion because they're so tight on the tube. So definitely military quality. Yeah, and this breaks your back trying to carry it, and that transformer also. But yeah, I am excited for the future. Well, first I need to study for school, so you might not see me do anything with most parts here for a couple of months. So we'll be looking out for ideas and other stuff. So yeah. Till later video, till we see each other again. I'm gonna try to make a RF function. I'm gonna make a high frequency sine wave generator. Hopefully up to like 20 megahertz or so. I already started with some component layouts and some tubes there. Also a small prototype, but maybe not post a video on it. I don't know. Well, I still don't know how to express my gratitude for all this stuff. Well, thanks. Thank you for listening. Bye.